Okay, hey there guys, so we're back with part 2 now, and yeah, we're just going to get right into this. Again, it's a bit more interesting matchups, stuff like that. It's a lot of Mole Man still, but going down path 4 here, we have Titania, not using Elsa this time. I'm going to go in with Mole Man. As I said in the previous one, Mole Man, I got to pick my champions, and I was selected on path 4, so I'm just like, Mole Man was pretty much an auto-select every single war, just with how much I was used to using him. Right there, use the Frenzy to block, not Frenzy, I use my Monster Mass to block her unblockable, and I'm trying to trigger a couple Unstoppables because I want to get debuffs on me, but now I'm just going for my full build up. I should have blocked that, but I still get a lot of debuffs, and now I'll trigger my Frenzy there. Didn't quite play it how I should have. I should have tried stopping the first couple Unstoppables, get a couple debuffs on me because she applies debuffs through block. And then, yeah, honestly, eating hits to the face there was not the worst call I could have made. Void here, pretty similar. It's your normal Void fight here. He just does a lot of chip damage to you on this node. That's all it is. He is global, so I do want to try. I'm backing up so that way the slow applies. I can shrug it and then throw my SP2 after that. Because once I throw my Frenzy into the mix there, the weaknesses are going to stick, and I'm going to take a lot of damage. But bursted him down quick enough that it doesn't quite matter there. So got through that fight pretty quickly there. Moving into section 2 here. The double skill team here was a little bit funny, honestly, because it's just two shrugging champions. Why was it I brought Elsa? There was like a certain champion I wanted Elsa for. Do I take Hazard Shift again? Maybe I take Hazard Shift again in this one? I don't know. Why did I bring Elsa? It's a great question now that I'm looking back on this. So, Silk here on path 4. Again, I really wanted to take some Silks when I could because she was a menace last season, and I really think Mole Man is actually one of the better answers to her because crits stop her evade. It triggers her timer. As you see, her timer is going to trigger there. And now I also can block her unblockable hits from the global node, so I'll take a fair bit of chip damage, but like 2 SP2s is going to finish this up on a path fight, and like 3 will probably finish it up on a mini boss. If she's boss, maybe it's like 4, maybe it's 3 if you're ascended. But I also don't have max boosts or suicides going here, so like I really liked taking the Silks with Mole Man. It was really just that easy to do. It was actually insanely like simple it was insane how easy the fight was with him. I'm going to speed this one up because this fight does not go how I envisioned. I-Bomb again, a little bit of a menace. I was hoping these poisons wouldn't stack up as quickly as they would, and he was a bit stingier. I have the super fast forward. He was a bit stingy with his SP1, I think, and so I just pushed him to SP2, and that's going to get you killed against an I-Bomb. So I think I go in here with Elsa. That actually might have been why I brought Elsa. I think I'm not like planning on, but I think I assumed I was going to die, and I didn't really know who else I wanted to bring for this. But Elsa's pretty good for this. I have the Steadfast. I'm going to take a lot of poison damage here, but I knew once I got up to the SP2 I was pretty much going to kill, and that's what happened there. If I did that from full, it was not going to go well. Got a Void here. This is a different war now, but it's again just another Void on path 4, and I think no, I don't think I died to this one, but I'm going to start like speeding up through some of the fights that I don't feel like are like as interesting. So again, it's that same strategy. Try to give myself as many debuffs to Purify as possible, and actually in this fight I think I'm playing it a little bit on the safer side. No, there we go. Okay, I do go for it. I only get 1 Fury there, which is a bit of a downside, but I do not go into Frenzy because I accidentally block his SP2 there. These Furies are still going to put in some work, and so when I throw this SP2 it should just about kill him, and it does. Yeah. That one was a bit, it's almost like I was trying to play safer, but it ended up being sloppier because of like the slower play that I was doing. What in the... Did I have this backwards? No. I just brought this team a couple times. I think is what it is. So again, Scorpion, the main issue is the unblockable special with that big lunge that Scorpion, has there on his SP1. And the SP2, same thing. He kind of just like gets all up in your face and it's unblockable, so it's kind of suck. So what I want to do is I want to get a Fury up, 1-2 Furies up, and I want to get into Frenzy as quick as I can here. Got a couple Furies, but I actually messed up on that, but I had an indestructible boost on, which is good. Right there, if I get a heavy, I just want to trigger Frenzy here, that's all I'm looking for. He's actually going to evade me, but my unblockable is going to come through really clutch there. The evade there was a very annoying little aspect. That's what I was worried about when I was planning out that fight, if I remember correctly, was I was a bit worried about that evade. But it didn't catch me too bad there or anything. Let's see what's up next. Got a nice little Spider Ham. Again, this is a fight I'm pretty comfortable with. Not that I've taken it in this global, but I've taken a lot of Spider Hams on Path 4 since joining Salty. Even back in GT, I guess I actually took a fair few. But this is a fight I'm pretty familiar with. It's heavy, trigger Frenzy, throw SP1. I do the rotation a little bit backwards. Those hits are supposed to come after the heavies. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a light, I think. And I should have done it after the first light, but I don't think I thought I was going to get the SP1. So I threw one too many hits there. So he does actually have a nonsense, which is dangerous. But so I'm just going to back off, get another parry off, and do another full combo and just kill him. Because Ham's health is so low. When he's like 7-star and stuff, if he's like a 7-star rank 3, that health will get pretty high. But that, it's not too high. So it wasn't too bad there. Oh, this is the time I get to use an Elsa for a mini-boss. That's right. That's going to be a cool fight. So this, again, my normal null. It's only a rank 4 6-star. So that's why I'm just like, I'll just throw like a potion at this, like just in case, just to give myself some breathing room. But, right, like a rank 4 is nothing too crazy for a rank 5 mole man. I still have some skill boosts. Just missed a parry. It's all it is. Just relaxing. Shrugged off the power sting. Then I'm going to throw my SP2. Don't have full boosts going, as I've like kind of stated a couple times, so that doesn't stick fully. Get up to another SP2. I'm going to drop a full combo. Just get some bleeds going before I throw that last SP2. And it was a good call because after that SP2, the bleeds finish him off. And the extra time just to let the bleeds run out a little bit. It just adds up that damage. And this is the time I'm going to be using Elsa for a mini-boss, not the Danny Moonstar. Sadly, that would have been an interesting choice, using a skill for Danny. No, I'm going back up to that hazard shift with Elsa. I had to make sure that Sandman wasn't Incinerate immune. He's not Incinerate immune, so I was like, okay, this is the same Elsa fight that I did against those couple other ones, but I was like, that this should be potentially easier because Sandman's not too bad, because he also, unless they have a lot of despair, he kind of just heals you the whole fight, and look how much damage you do when you have your, when you can stun with the stunning reflection. And I don't have the steadfast, but look how little this does. I'm honestly taking more damage from the heal reversal and from the degen. Get my evade off, and just come back in, get my incinerate up, and now I get to throw my SP2, get a busted on him, throw it all in there, get those crits, which do a bunch of nice little burst damage, and okay, there it is, yeah. So now this one I have my steadfast, so I'm just going to hold blocking, and I'm actually even healing a little bit back from this, waiting for my evade, waiting for the right chance to use it. I don't know what happened. Oh, that's what happened, that's right. Those are anti-evade chants, and I didn't realize that at first. I almost didn't realize it there still. Yeah, so those are anti-evade, so I wasn't paying enough attention to Sandman's other abilities besides his immunities, but the fight still ended pretty smoothly, if I'm being honest. This is also Path 4 here, but it's a Weapon X, so I'm like, well, Weapon X kind of has one answer, and there was a couple other fights I saw that I could use Nimrod for. Just going in with my normal Nimrod strategy, get a couple parries up, got to my 14 armor, is going to throw it, 10k tick, and he's done. Nimrod versus Weapon X is a very, very fun fight. It just ends so quick, I love it. So, next up here is an Idoom. I haven't fought that many Idooms in war, just Idooms. Yeah. I haven't fought that many Infamous Ironmans. Idoom. What am I saying? Haven't fought that many of the Infamous Ironmans, right? Just not on the paths I typically take. And then he also wasn't like the most common defender. But he's not too bad as long as you know what you're doing. You don't want to let him get off his SP1 for his Aura of Iron. And then the other thing is you don't want to let the like regen special lock mess you up at the end, because it can very easily happen. Right here, I can't use my SP2 because I'm still special locked from his Aura of Iron, and it's going to kind of become an issue. Trying to trigger an Unstoppable, have one Fury, it's not quite great. I got a crit there. So what I want to do here is now I want to stack up a cup. I wanted to get a couple more Furies, probably ideally, but the 2 is fine, and this last special is going to just rinse through him. Those couple hits in the middle are not too big, but those ones on the end are massive, and yeah, it just rinsed through that health pool there at the end, and that's what I was trying to get to at the start. I was just messing it up a bit. I wasn't countering his heavy very well, and a couple things like that. Got a Quicksilver here coming up, so do I put the White Magneto on this? I probably should. But even if I don't, Mole Man's a really, really good counter to Quicksilver, because you have the True Strike, and then he also can't evade guaranteed crits, and Mole Man has those. You're either typically going to have guaranteed crits or True Strike. So either way, you typically have a good counter there. I think I was thinking about the White Mags, but I decided not to because Mole Man's a villain, so I wouldn't even get the passive stun, just the extra damage. And right here, right now that I'm out of True Strike range, I'm going to trigger my Frenzy, so now he cannot evade. As you can see, his evade timer goes off there. This special 2 will kind of do a little bit of damage to my face, so I probably should have just done a full combo there, because he doesn't throw the SP3, and if he did, I definitely would have gotten rinsed. I should have gone for the full combo into SP2, but again, I wouldn't be like, these wars aren't, actually no, this war might have been a little bit close technically. This Icarus is, it was an interesting choice by me, let's say, the least. I just wasn't sure who I really wanted to use for it. I don't have like the most Mystic options, like I have like Doom, I have like an Abs, but I wasn't sure who I'd really want to use for this, so I was like, well, if I'm not sure, I guess I'll just stick to Mole Man, and I'll just see how this goes. So just trying to like not give him too many Energize, not overdo the power detonations. I'm like, okay, that was fine. Right here, I want to do like 2 mediums. I should have done 2 mediums, not a medium, a light. Throw my next SP2, and one more full combo, throw the SP2 and finish him off. And Mole Man did the trick there. Is it the best matchup? Probably not. Most likely, definitely not. But it worked the trick, and that's what matters in the end. Coming up here for a Danny Moonstar on the Root node. So this is that old like Link mini. So it has Root, and it has Power Focus 2. So you're going to push them up to that SP2 very quickly, but they're very unlikely to get the SP3. Yes, Power Focus 2. So what I was thinking about for this with Nimrod is really just, I want to do a lot of parrying, like a parry and a light, because I don't want to let the Scared Stiff like creep up on me. Actually, I should not have thrown that heavy. I don't know why I'm quite like going this aggressive, because her SP2 does a lot of damage. So I'm going to throw my SP2 here, and I'm like, okay, how much do we do? It's quite a bit. It's nearly 70% from a single SP2. So now I'm just like, okay, I'm just holding block. I'm okay taking those hits, because the only thing I don't want is for her to throw a special. I actually get rooted, and I don't have my Eradicate form ready. So now I do. So now I'm I go into Eradicate, throw the SP2. Well, I guess throw the SP2 to trigger Eradicate, and that eradicates her. So we're on to the next war now, another Void. As I said, I start to speed through a couple of these fights that I personally don't find as interesting, just like the fights that I've done a lot. So it's, again, very similar strategy. Just try to get a couple Furies going, try to not let myself stick too many debuffs. This one, yeah, this is the one. I hit him once and backed off. I don't know what I was doing. As I said, you can tell a couple of these were done at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You can tell on a couple of these, like that one. Like, I did a single hit and was like, oh shoot, I think my next hit's going to push him to SP3. So I back off and I look and I'm like, oh, I should have finished that combo, thrown SP1, and it honestly could have killed. Claire here, yeah. Okay, yeah. You can tell I was kind of tired for these fights. You can tell I was a little bit tired. This one is so funny, man. I was holding my phone. I was. So I get the stun. I should have just thrown it, but I didn't. I somehow actually resist the heavy, but I'm like, shoot. Now I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I have no charges. I try to like go to hit her block, and then she light intercepts me, and I'm just like, oh, ooh, that was unfortunate. And then I'm gonna have a good Cassie match. She's still passive off the start, but this time I don't accept the stun. I'm like, I'll take one combo, but I'm not gonna accept a stun into like a crit heavy or something. So I'm like, okay, just hit her back. I don't care about the Fury. She'll have the Fury when she throws an SP1 anyway. So I'm just like, okay. Settle into the fight. Find my rhythm with Cassie. Once I get a couple power stings going, the fight will work. I'm like, okay, there. Hit SP1. We're building my charges. We're building my power stings. I'm like, okay, all good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Dex, I'm not trying to like phase her SP1 yet because I just did not have enough confidence or charges at that moment. I was baiting it very, very diligently because I didn't want to like start doing it and then she throws it a bit late. I back off there because I want to let her actually throw that SP1 there. If I had done a full combo, it would have like slowed down my power sting rotation a little bit. I'm hoping this taunt works here. It does. Gonna go in full combo and then I should have just full comboed into the SP1 probably, but I got an extra power sting off. It doesn't matter that much. And right, you can see the comfort level came back in a little bit with this fight. I need to just be like holding, like that. I needed to hold my block down. I needed to not have it up, so that way she would actually throw the special there at the end, just like that, to kill herself. And coming in here now, we got another Havoc here on the path 4. Again, I took a lot of these Havocs here, and a lot of them with Iron Man. But it's a pretty fun fight still. It was very enjoyable because typically, right, I've always done this like with Warlock. Or not always, but like for a while now, this fight has just always been Warlock. So it was kind of cool trying out someone new for it. I should have been trying to get a bit more reparries there because I think I don't think you get the armors from a block, but you can get them from a parry. So right now, he's unblockable. You can block his unblockable specials, but I don't really need to. Havoc specials are pretty easy to dex. The taunt is going to help just because it's a taunt. I don't really need the steadfast, and I was just blocking just for safety purposes. Gonna go in here with my SP1, which also invalidates those prowesses. Doesn't really matter too much to invalidate them because hopefully I don't really eat a special to the face. A lot of armors, and I don't get why this happens here. My regen triggered. I don't get why. I still don't get why. This is like the third time I've watched this video. I don't know why my regen triggers, but if you notice, my Iron Man no longer has his persistent charge, which is a little bit unfortunate. A little bit unfortunate. It doesn't matter too much. Got a Rintra here, and that's not too bad of a fight. I've definitely never died to this fight before. Definitely not 2 times. So this fight definitely doesn't go well. I'll start with that. This fight does not go great. It goes better than the others. I still find the way Rintra works against buff immune very goofy, if you ask me. Very, very goofy, in fact. I ended with 6 charges, and I need... So when you heavy, and he's above 10 charges, if he's against the wall, he gets unstoppable. If he's not against the wall, he doesn't get that unstoppable at 10. I think it's at like 15 for specials, I think. So he gets that power gain because I'm buff immune, and he's making me buff immune technically as well. Just waiting out those charges, trying to see if I can get a power sting started. Like, again, I am so rough at this fight for some reason. I have the spacing down. I get a lot of power stings on him there, which is nice. And I should throw my SP2 as soon as I can get rid of this power sting. SP2, SP3. I need to get this SP3 out of my system here. So I also should have probably just done the full charge, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a poison on him, which is actually the better play. Triple you in my ears there, for sure. So I get the SP3 off, which is going to give me the crush debuff. It's just going to give me that little bit of breathing room. SP1 is typically better. I was not trying to throw Relic there, so I don't know why it threw it, but it did. So what I want him to do now is I really want him to throw this SP1. I want to get in there, and I want to get that 10 charge off, right? Because when he's doing all those little horn hits, you get so many. And right here, I don't go in for the heavy because I want to get a poison on him because he's unblockable. and I won't be able to get I wouldn't be able to push him up to an SP1 very easily there. So I really need the poison up there to really give me the duration on those. So right here, what I need is I need an opening. I try for it, and he actually resists. I need to just hit him, but I just can't. He just doesn't play into it well. He actually hits me, and all my power stings fell off. My 20-something power stings fell off, punching the air because my power stings fell off again in this fight. I don't mean like this fight specifically. I mean like every time I've done this, I always just lose so many power stings. And I have so many of my science charges, I forget what they're called, like the Pim particle gas or whatever, that give you the poisons that extend all your debuffs. So right there, I'm able to put a poison on. Like, okay, let's get my power stings back again. I'm at 7, so I'm like, do not throw this SP2. Pushes him up to 10 because I have the neutralize, and when a buff immune has a neutralize, he always gains it pretty much. I think that's kind of how it works because it just basically counts it as him. I think I thought about throwing my SP2 there, back up to the SP3, but I'm like, hey, he's at least at an SP1. Maybe he'll throw it. Maybe he'd throw it. Maybe he'd throw it. I'm not saying I played this as I should have. I shouldn't have needed him to do that. But as you can see there, lost a little bit of the confidence with the spacing. I'm just like, okay, this one, I'm just going to take it chill. I tried to use that for an intercept there, which was so stupid. It's something I kind of enjoy doing, is trying to use it for an intercept, but it's really dumb. And again, as you can see, I wasn't going for my big charges on that, and right here I need to get the power sting off before I can go for this SP3, obviously. But he's against his wall, so he's going to gain an unstoppable again. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I do so poorly in this fight. Every single time, it's absurd. I don't get it. Like, I do get it. I need to work on my, like, Cassie gameplay overall. But because, like, you can see I have some of the concepts there, but needs a bit of work. He actually ran in right at the very end, and I have 19 power stings going, so I'm like, okay, this is good, this is good. I also have my SP3, so I'm like, I'm going to combo into SP3. He's dead. Okay. We did it. We soloed a Rintra on path 4. Did it take an ascended rank 4, and I almost still died? Yes. Did I still get the solo? Yes, I did. This fight does not go great, but I don't really care about like not showing deaths. I just want to put in some fun stuff. I think under the right circumstances, this fight is actually soloable with Iron Man. I don't think it's a great matchup, but because of all the debuffs she puts on you through your block, you actually heal a fair bit just throughout the whole fight. And once you're in the Incinerate, it's like kind of okay, but it's a lot of block damage. And as you can see, I lost that regen for some reason in the previous Havoc fight, so I don't have that, but I actually didn't realize that during this fight. I'm able to like hit block to like kind of try to use some space. I'm like, okay, my regen will kick in now, and it just doesn't. I'm like, where's my regen? I was expecting to be up much higher in health. I don't think this is like a great matchup, but as you can see, when I'm like in the Incinerate mode, if you had your regen and you played it a little bit better than I did, I think this is actually a doable fight. I don't think this is a smart matchup, but we needed something, and after that, I told my BG, I'm like, no, I'm not about to go into that fight like 10 times to try to finish this off. It's not a good matchup, because again, it's not a good matchup. Is it maybe doable? Sure, not a good matchup. But again, I think a lot of these fights have been pretty fun so far in these wars for me, and I definitely enjoyed this last season. There's still going to be one more of these videos coming out, probably tomorrow, maybe the day after that, so just stay on the lookout for that. Thank you for coming and watching. I know these videos came out pretty late, but I'm enjoying making them, so I'm going to keep putting them out. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!